All right. Okay, let's get into the next one. These we're going to be all over the place. But hey, my mind is like that. My mind. I was going to try and maybe do these in order, but it doesn't really matter as long as I get them out there, right? Okay, my boy Brandon Tatum, who really, really, really wanted to meet. I think this weekend in Mesa, Arizona, Mesa or Tempe, that they're going to be at a convention, and I really wanted to go, but I am in way too much fucking pain. But let's get into this. Sorry, kind of getting over a cold.
Video is brought to you by the Tatum Store. The Tatum Store, get the link in the description section. Y'all know what it is. Let's get into this. Nancy Pelosi / see now I had a stroke and I'm talking and I should be at the house or the nursing home getting treatment looking, but is out here saying that the House should proceed with articles of impeachment.
This was a month ago, by the way.
Impeach President Trump. This is the most deranged thing that I've heard in the history of my life, especially in the history of politics. You're talking about a partisan investigation, a partisan vote to impeach a duly elected president. 63 plus million people voted so that President Trump can be our president. He has accomplished more than any president that I've known in my lifetime because he's not a part of the swamp and he's not a swamp creature. I don't care what he did before he was president. I don't care how many people he was grabbing and stabbing. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I care what the man is doing as the president of the United States.
And that is exactly what I said on my Facebook post and what I said in the previous video. I could give a fuck if he was the most racist person on the planet. I don't really care as long as he does the fucking job. And has he done the job? Yes. He's done the job better than any modern era president. Period. Period. Damn, this cold. Hands down, he's done more for this country than any modern era president. So I could give a fuck less about his past. I don't give a fuck about if he's grabbed somebody's pussy. I don't care about any of that. Just do your fucking job.
The States of America, one of the greatest economies we've ever seen. People are off of food stamps by the millions. People are unemployed historically. I mean, we could go down the list. His partnership and his respect around the world is beyond imagination. Remember the guy who's the ISIS leader? Well, he got smoked. All of these things that the president is doing, conservative people on the bench. After a while, he's gonna have 3 conservatives that he put into the Supreme Court justice. President Trump is doing exactly what he ran on, and he's accomplishing a lot. But without further ado, I want you to listen to the senile fool, Nancy Pelosi, get up and say that she want to order the articles of impeachment. Mind you, I had to cut it down because I know you don't want to hear all the ridiculous stuff she said, but I'll give you the sound bites of what it sounds like to me.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the president's failure to faithfully execute the law. It therefore created a constitutional remedy to protect against a dangerous or corrupt leader. The American people have heard the testimony of truly patriotic career public servants. I commend our committee chairs and our members for their somber approach to actions which the president had not made necessary.
What?
Democrats too are prayerful, and we will proceed in a manner worthy of our oath of office. So help us God. Thank you.
No.
Hold on with their stupid ass commercials. Hold on. Jeez Christ, hold on. Stupid ass shit.
If she ain't.
Hey, let me speak on something really quick since the dumbass commercial popped up. And I pointed this out in many videos. And of course, if y'all follow YouTube, truly follow YouTube, not certain videos or whatever, but YouTube. And if you know about this whole thing with Jukin Video and NXR, MXR, and the lawsuit that they tried to file against MXR over this. I mean, you need to look it up, and I might actually do my own story on it. For one, and I've said this numerous times, I could give a fuck less about being monetized. I'm a disabled veteran. I collect my disability, so I get paid anyway. I earned my fucking money, and I get paid. So I could give a fuck less about getting monetized. I live comfortably. I don't need to be living out there like I'm fucking AOC and shit. I'm perfectly fine living the way that I live in my nice house and my big ass, because I spend my money right. So I can give a fuck less about being monetized. And I could care less about, as I said, I'll do a video specific about that. So we'll get back into this.
She ain't just as senile as Joe Biden. I don't know what to say. Then after she gave that brain dead explanation of why she should proceed with impeachment, you can look up the full speech on your own time. After she gave that statement, somebody in the media and the news press asked her, "Why do you hate the president?" Referring to one of the Republicans saying that the only reason they're doing impeachment because they hate President Trump. Here is how she reacted to this. Another senile moment, ladies and gentlemen. Roll the film.
Like the guy. Nothing to do with it. Let me just say this. I think the president is a coward when it comes to helping our kids who are afraid of God. He is cruel when he doesn't deal with helping our dreamers, so, of which we're very proud. I think
that is something I pointed out in the previous video. These fuckers keep bringing up foreigners over Americans. That seems to be their primary fucking take. And that is what angers me so much. Is them putting foreigners in their, every time they open their goddamn mouths, anybody on the left, anyone on the fucking left, my friends fucking included. I use that word loosely. Anyone on the left, every time they open their fucking mouth, the shit that comes out of their mouth first is refugees, dreamers, illegals, foreigners. That is the first fucking shit that comes out of their mouth. And it's like, I'm sorry, I care about our people, my people, the Americans. I don't give a damn about these foreigners. I could give a fuck less about Mexico and any of these other foreign countries. I could care less about any of them. That is what pisses me off. This is the reason why they need to be hung for treason, is the fact that they were elected by us, people who are meant to be legally, only Americans should be allowed to vote in our elections, period. That's a stab at fucking New York and their bullshit. We elect these, well, I didn't elect that bitch, but we are the ones electing them to the office. Americans. We should not be allowing foreigners and illegals to dictate our government. They came from crappy governments. They can't fix their own fucking countries. They don't get the right to tell us what to do in ours. I don't feel sorry. Well, you don't feel sorry for them. No. Have your own civil war. Fight your own fucking battles. Take care of your own house. Don't run away like a bitch and then come to our country and then tell us to change our laws to suit you when your own fucking country's failed. Fuck you. That, I'm telling you, these people need to be hung for treason.
I think he's in denial about the Constitution, about the climate crisis.
Now,
there's no climate crisis. I am Wiccan. I am a fucking pagan. I know more and care more about the environment than any of you fucking Christians. I am a tree hugger. So do not ever think that you all somehow hold a monopoly on caring about the environment. Us witches care more about the environment than you. But here's the thing. We know that the climate changes. We know that the world changes. All these earthquakes and all of these fucking volcanoes that are going off. You're going to blame the climate? No. All of these earthquakes and all of these volcanoes going off should be a sign to let you know the earth is shifting, which they already said that. Meteorologists, actual climatologists, no, meteorologists, geologists, people who actually study the earth and have studied the earth throughout, with these core samples and everything throughout history, have already pointed all this stuff out. You already know this information. But these fake scientists, climatologists, trying to make it sound like, oh my God, this is a dire situation. No, it isn't. All the hurricanes and all that other stuff, oh, you notice how they all want to try and blame climate change? But can you use climate change when it comes to volcanoes and earthquakes? No. Interesting. Funny, because I remember them trying to use climate change when it came to the tsunamis. Bitch, that had to do with underwater earthquakes. That the tsunamis had nothing to do with the climate, bitch. But this is these people. This is how stupid. No, I got to admit, this is how smart these leftist politicians are. This is how smart they are. To take something that had nothing to do with climate and make it about climate. Because I've seen climate videos that bring up the tsunamis. And it's like, those tsunamis had nothing to do with the climate. They were underwater earthquakes. That has absolutely nothing to do with the climate. But this is how fucking sneaky they are. Because I had somebody point that out to me, and I'm like, do you not know how a tsunami is formed? It's not formed like, with weather patterns and how tornadoes and hurricanes are made, dumbass. Did y'all, seriously. And I've had people, I've got a diploma. Doesn't mean that you actually learned anything in school. Seriously. Because if you don't even know simple shit like this, that I knew before there was Google and all this other fucking shit, how do you have access to all this information online and still fuck up the truth?
I don't think she's off her rocker and she's almost in the same nursing home as Joe Biden and fell off the reservation, looked like a dentist ready to fall out, her brain not working straight. Now, I'm not trying to get mad or belittle anybody that's elderly, somebody that's up in age, but come on, man. When your links ain't connecting and your mouth don't connect with your brain and your ears and all of that don't work, you probably need to calm down. You probably need to step down and let somebody who's more youthful take over that position because you're screwing it up for everybody. But this is the grand finale, ladies and gentlemen. They've already spoken about the proceedings that they had that Adam Schiff led, and they had all of these hearings, and they all were BS. And at least Stefanik totally dominated. And I just want to put this in a nutshell. They literally, methodically, the Republicans, went through and asked every single person that they brought before them, all the witnesses, do you have material facts? Do you have evidence that President Trump did a quid pro quo? They are just completely without words. They cannot even answer the question. So all of this that we've seen in these proceedings have been people's opinions. And they not only have been people's opinions, but they've been opinions about third-party information. Now, I'm going to give you just a quick overview of what the hearings in Adam Schiff's control, what they sound like. And Ms. Stefanik did a perfect job at just running this down. Watch this video.
Sondland, you testified that you never received any direct confirmation or specific information as to why there was a hold on aid.
That's correct.
And in fact, you testified, quote, President Trump never told me directly that the aid was conditioned on the investigations, end quote.
That's correct.
You said, quote, never heard those words from the president, correct?
Correct.
So then what are we doing?
Instead, you testified that in your September 9th call with President Trump, the president said, quote, no quid pro quo. I want nothing. I want nothing. I want President Zelensky to do the right thing, do what he ran on, end quote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So then what are we doing?
And the fact is, the aid was given to Ukraine without any announcement of new investigations.
That's correct.
And President Trump did, in fact, meet with President Zelensky in September at the United Nations, correct?
He did.
And there was no announcement of investigations before this meeting?
Correct.
And there was no announcement of investigations after this meeting?
That's right.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that was Adam Schiff. Now, little weird body, little short stack. I call him short
Not Schiff, that was Sondland, but another piece of shit.
stack. Little short stack is now involved and in control, and Matt Gaetz just obliterated the witnesses. And I'm telling, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, after this hearing, Nancy Pelosi wants to pursue impeachment. After this one right here that I'm about to show you, after Matt Gaetz just ran them through the floor and showed the world why they're incompetent. Mind you, there were 4 professors. The Democrats only asked questions to 3 professors, liberal, Trump-hating professors that they...
But here's the thing. They weren't witnesses. They're just professors. What the fuck does... If I were... I could never be a Democrat. But if I were, I would be the only intelligent one. Because I'd be like, what the fuck are we doing? What are y'all doing? Y'all are literally calling people who aren't witnesses. What the hell are we doing? Oh, we're just trying to stack the deck. Oh, we're just trying to blind the American people to what's really going on. No, you're wasting time and money. What are we doing?
Already predetermined. The 4th one was a person that the Republicans had a chance to choose, and he opposed almost everything that they said. All the Democratic talking points he opposed. They didn't ask him probably one question. The biased behavior is asinine to me. Listen to Matt Gaetz destroy them, and this pretty much the end of the video. There's nothing else to watch. It's over. Everybody in America should watch this, share this, and you know why the Democrats ain't worth a dime. Watch the video.
Will of the American people also elected Donald Trump to be the president of the United States in the 2016 election, and there's one party that can't seem to get over it. Professor Gerhardt, you gave money to Barack Obama, right?
My family did, yes.
4 times?
That sounds about right. Yes.
Mr. Feldman wrote articles entitled, Trump's wiretap tweets raise risk of impeachment. He then wrote, Mar-a-Lago ad belongs in impeachment file. And then Mr. Jake Flanagan wrote in Quartz, a Harvard law professor thinks Trump could...
Here's another thing I'm going to point out. If Donald Trump truly were a bad person, why is it that all the witnesses that the Democrats call forth are just people who hate Donald Trump? Why not it be somebody who likes Donald Trump but is like, you know what, I know he did something wrong? Where are those witnesses? Literally the person that has no bias. It's like, you know what, he did something wrong and I like him, but he misled me. You know, where are those witnesses? Why is it that it's always people who have literally a political bias against the president? For one, they're not even witnesses. I mean, they're not. These are fucking professors. They weren't there. Why? When I saw that, and when I saw CNN, oh my God, these witnesses, they're not witnesses. They didn't witness anything. They weren't there. Why are they even here? Oh my God. I'm telling you, we, the American people, should be marching on DC and literally taking the law into our own hands as American citizens and doing a citizen's arrest of these fucking Democratic leaders and taking them into custody. Did we forget we have that power? We should be marching on DC and as citizens, take these people into custody.
Be impeached over fake news accusations. You write an article entitled, It's Hard to Take Impeachment Seriously Now.
Yes, I did write that
And in
article.
that article, did you write, hold on, I'm limited on time. So
I wrote
did you
that
write,
article.
since the
Like, let me answer the
2018
question,
midterm
sir.
election, House Democrats have made it painfully clear that discussing impeachment is primarily or even exclusively a tool to weaken President Trump's chances in 2020. Did you write those words? Professor Carlin, you gave $2,000 or you gave $1,000 to Elizabeth Warren, right?
I believe so.
You gave $1,200 bucks
How do you
to Barack
believe
Obama,
so?
I have no reason to question that.
and you gave $2,000 to Hillary Clinton.
Wow, I'll tell you right now, you have a fucking professor. You have way too much goddamn money. If you're handing out thousands of dollars and not remember, again, why are we not marching on DC and these fucking liberals, these professors, all of them, and taking them into custody? This is what's wrong with our country. These people. You literally get, I mean, that is way too much fucking money. We're not talking Michael Jordan here, who's got millions upon millions of dollars. We're not talking about fucking, I mean, seriously, Bill Gates or something. We're talking a goddamn college professor, a fucking professor making that much fucking money. There's something wrong here.
Have you ever been on a podcast called Versus Trump?
I think I was on a live panel that the people who ran the podcast called Versus Trump.
Excuse me, you don't get to interrupt me on this time. Now, let me also suggest that when you invoke the president's son's name here, when you try to make a little joke out of referencing Barron Trump, that does not lend credibility to your argument. It makes you look mean. It makes you look like you're attacking someone's family, the minor child of the president of the United States. So let's see if we can get into the facts. To all of the witnesses, if you have personal knowledge of a single material fact in the Schiff report, please raise your hand.
Commercials.
The most important.
As I said, I do
lawsuit in
love
America
PragerU
right now,
though.
and perhaps the free.
And let the record reflect. No personal knowledge of a single fact.
This ain't enough. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. If you have a functioning brain and you are looking at this proceeding, you are looking at them trying to impeach a duly elected president who was on the phone. They ain't not trying to impeach him with the Russia stuff and none of that. That's just gone out the window because they've been found to be unsubstantial. They want to go to the call on with the Ukraine president. The Ukraine president said, I was not pressured. There's no quid pro quo.
Here's the thing, though. You cannot turn around. Let's just say, let's take the game of Monopoly. You cannot turn around, start a game of Monopoly, right? Or let me try to think of a really long game besides Monopoly. Okay, fuck it. You cannot start the game of Monopoly. And it's like a 3, and it's like, let's do it as the impeachment. We're going to start this game of Monopoly. During the game, change the players, change the money. Like, I mean, I'm not talking about within gameplay. I'm talking about outside of gameplay. Like, okay, well, I used to own Baltic. Now I own, Park Avenue. But no, you didn't own Park Avenue. You own Baltic. No, I own Park Avenue now. What happened? They claim that they started this whole impeachment thing because of Russia collusion. That's what they started this impeachment. As the impeachment was going on, then they just kept modifying it. And I'm like, doesn't that mean you would start a brand new impeachment proceeding? Brand new. You cannot turn around and have started it here based on this and then turn around and go, well, that one didn't work, so now we're going to do this. Well, then that means you start all over. You don't just continue and then keep calling him impeachment. It's like, no, you got to start all over again. But they kept doing it. Oh, we've been impeaching this president for 3 years now. No, actually, you've only been impeaching him since the goddamn phone call. Because the other shit, you're not even impeaching him on anymore. So you can't say you've been impeaching him for 3 years when you're not impeaching him based on the shit that you started 3 years ago. But again, we're intelligent to see that. It's you fucking Democrats that are just completely fucking duped.
You heard what Stefanik said.
That's like a marathon. Everybody else started the marathon at the very beginning of the start line. And then all of a sudden you come in, you sneak in the last mile and go, I've been running this marathon the whole time. That's what you fucking Democrats are doing. It's like, no, I just saw you, dude. You just jumped in like, 3 blocks ago. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
And one of the witnesses that spoke to the president, that he talked to the president on the phone, there was no there there. The president said, I don't want nothing from him. I just want him to do his job. So not only is President Trump denying it, the president of the Ukraine is denying it. Everybody and their mama know that the funds were withheld because of the fear of corruption. The Ukraine government didn't even know that funds were being withheld. They didn't even know it. How you gonna do a quid pro quo with yourself? How you gonna do a quid pro quo with somebody and they don't know they're involved in a quid pro quo? It does not work. We know that the money was released without any conditions, without Ukraine doing anything for the money. It was released because the president and people around him said it's okay to release the money. We trust the Ukrainian president that he's gonna do what's right with short tax dollars. So the president released it. Nobody hears about this until the election time is coming around and they need something to impeach the president on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a witch hunt. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a hoax. All they want to do is impeach the president. They know he's not going to be removed in the Senate because they would need 20 Republicans to vote to remove him in the Senate. Not going to happen. If he's not removed in the Senate, he's going to finish out his term as a duly elected president, and he's going to run in 2020 and win. They're going to have to try to impeach him all over again. Let me give you this quick fact, and I'm out of here, I promise. So a quick fact is that even if they impeach him, they can't remove him from office. In 2020, when he win again, they're going to have to go through an entirely new process to try to impeach President Trump again so that he don't have 4 more years. And they don't have enough information to do that. And they cannot use the same stuff they tried to impeach him with the first time.
Right.
They're going to have new information. Meanwhile,
and they won't ever get it. Because then everybody should come. I'm telling you, he wins in 2020 and they try this shit again. People are going to turn around and go, well, where was this evidence in the first presidency? At that point, we really, really should be marching on DC and fucking hanging these goddamn Democrats for treason. Anyway, that's my video on this. I keep fidgeting around because, as I said, my back, my sciatic nerve is killing me. It is just, Jesus Christ. Anyway, so let me see if I can actually go ahead and make one more video. If I could stave off this pain.
President Trump is.
Anyway, let me go ahead and get on to my next video, y'all. Love y'all. Peace out.